So we're going to take a look at the fixtures here as laid out. There's 7 of them leading up to the next international break. We've got Southampton away, Barnsley at home, Crystal Palace away, FC Twente at home, Tottenham at home, Porto away, and Aston Villa away. What makes this a good set of fixtures, in my opinion, is that you have some easier games, you have some challenges, but you crucially do avoid the bigger teams in the league. This is a great opportunity to build some momentum, to get your ideas to sink in with the players and get them to build confidence in carrying them out and really turn the tide on the opinion against you. There are some intricacies with the kick-off times. As you can see here, Southampton, 12:30 on a Saturday. As they say, never back the early kick-off. But ultimately, they have won no games this season, and they are looking like one of the weaker teams in the league. I think you have to go away there. It might be tougher than you think, but you have to get there and get all 3 points. Barnsley at home. If we can't beat Barnsley at home, maybe it's time for the manager to go, because they're a League One team. We should be able to rotate. Maybe it makes the game a bit closer, but ultimately we should be getting that over the line and making sure that we take ourselves into the next round. And then we get to Crystal Palace away. And this is one of those sneaky tests, one of those ones that you look at it and think it's Crystal Palace, no problem. But we haven't actually won there, I think, the last 3 times that we've played them. The first of which was actually when Ten Hag watched on the final day before taking over. Since then, we've played them twice. We drew once, conceding a last-minute equaliser to Michael Olise. And then we had that one. So there is a bit of a thing here. Selhurst Park under the lights. Bit of a nightmare for us. 5:30 September, might not be under the lights at the start of the game, but will be at the end. I think that's a test there where if you can come out there with a win, that's a really creditable win. One that you can actually say that shows some progress, at least based on the fact that Ten Hag's never beaten them. And I think from there you can also use that as a springboard. But also, if we go there and draw, I wouldn't be up in arms. If we play well, but we draw, we get a bit caught up in them being at home, their fans get up for it. That can be a tricky game. If we come out with a draw, that might be all right. Moving on from there, we go to FC Twente. Now, a bit of a romantic fixture for Ten Hag himself. That is essentially his club. He played for him. He grew up near there. He won a Dutch Cup with them as a player. The only thing that could make this more romantic would be that we played them away and he got to actually take Man United back to his hometown club. But ultimately, Dutch teams, they tend to be a bit more open. They tend to sort of give it a go. And I think if we can actually get on top there and our midfield can take over that sort of game, we have a good chance of picking up 3 points and starting off the Europa League in a positive fashion. Like I said, those first 4 games, I don't think we're going to win them all, admittedly. I don't think we're that good at this stage. But if you go unbeaten, I think you can take that as encouragement. There is, as I said, enough of a challenge there. I think Palace in particular stands out. And I think you could take some hope. You get through that undefeated. Ideally get 2 wins in the league. And then I think you've got that springboard for success. The key here, though, where you can really turn the tide of the opinion against you is in the final 3 fixtures. If you've got that confidence taking you into those 3, I think you've got a chance to make your mark by having a really positive finish to this run. Starting with Tottenham at home. Now, we all know the saying, lads, it's Tottenham. But they are dangerous. They're a good attacking side. They do have good players. They did finish above us in the league. But they're also open. For a team like us at the moment who do struggle to create chances, I think that makes it easier for us. And also, I don't believe that really they have the personnel to defend well. They haven't started the season well defensively. They've conceded, I think, in every game they've played. And players like Porro, who like to push on, Udogie, good player, but also likes to push on, Romero, who likes to do whatever he likes, it seems. I think this is a good chance that you could actually take a win there. There's going to be opportunities there. It might be a bit of a shootout, but whoever wins that shootout is going to win this game. Also, their squad, arguably weaker than last year. And I think they've got more games coming up. They will have started the Europa League. They'll be coming into this maybe a bit less fresh, a bit less prepared than they would have been for this game last season. I think it gives us a good chance to start this off. We then go to Porto away. Now, when the Europa League pots were allocated, this was a game I wanted, because I think if you're going to be in the Europa League, I don't mind having a few games that actually feel big. This could be a Champions League game in another year. Another year, this could be a group stage game. We go away to Porto, a real test, a big club, a full stadium, but their fans are going to be up for it. And this is a real challenge. They were in the Champions League last season. They got out their group when we didn't, and they took Arsenal to penalties in this tie. And they've shown that in a European game, they are a force to be reckoned with. Honestly, you may not win here. There is a good chance you lose here. You've got to go to Portugal on a Thursday night. It's a big deal for them. It's one of their biggest games of the season. The key thing is, can you come out of it with any credit? I think a big thing that Ineos have obviously mentioned, and what seems to be a buzzword, is game model. And the key to a game model is not just, okay, it's going great, it's working, we can do this. It has to be, when it's not going well, can you stick to it? Can you keep pushing on? Can you keep persevering with it? And actually having moments in games where your game model's working for you. I think you can lose to Porto away, but you can still come out of it with some credit if you do the right things, if you apply your game model and make it work, and if you don't lose in a horrible fashion. Then we go on to the final game, and this is a game that we actually did win last year. It's Aston Villa away. Now, Aston Villa away, I think, is the hardest game in this set. I think you're going away to Portugal on a Thursday night. Before this, you're coming back, you're travelling back. It's on the Sunday, 2:30. Again, they, I think, are playing Bayern Munich the day before. They're going to have one more day's rest. They're going to be at home. And they could potentially even have the wind in their sails if they picked up a good result. I think with Aston Villa away, you really don't want to lose this. And I think you want to look at any opportunities you have to play on the break. One thing we did well against them is I think we went at them. We moved at them quickly. And that's something that helped us win those two games kind of against the run of play. And that would be a key thing there. But Aston Villa, top 4 team last season, but maybe not on paper one of the 4 best first 11s in the league. I think this is a great chance. If you can win that game, even if some of the earlier run goes a bit wrong, you have a great chance of really stamping your authority on this team and showing that, yes, I can pull this in the right direction. Ultimately, I think if Ten Hag can win 4 or 5 out of these 7 games, I think that could be considered a success. I think if he can go unbeaten or only lose 1 game, that would also qualify as a success to me. I think if Ten Hag can win 4 or 5 out of these 7 games, I think that can be considered a success. If he can go unbeaten or only lose 1 game in that run, that would also qualify as a success to me. What we really need is probably 3 wins in the Premier League at least, or at worst we could afford 2 wins, a draw and a defeat. And crucially, I think we need to see the style of play develop. I actually think that that has been better this year, even though the results may suggest stuff differently. I actually think that this has been better this year, although the results may suggest differently. And maybe I'll take a deeper look into that in another video as these next few games roll out. But that's it for this video. I'd love to hear any opinions you have in the comments, and I'll be back with another video soon.